If you're like me and you've been wanting to start your YouTube channel for ages, but somehow you still haven't, this video is for you. Maybe you've made a ton of lists, you have a collection of video ideas that are fucking fabulous. Maybe you even started filming at some point.
I am so excited. My client Jenny is about to get here.
But somehow you haven't gotten to it yet. I feel you so much. So in this video, I want to share with you what I did to finally start my YouTube channel. And trust me, you really want to watch the full video because my tips and tricks are very unusual because for me, and chances are it's the same for you, all the normal tips and tricks that you already can hear on YouTube didn't work for me. And personally, I really think that we need to take a closer look at why you haven't started and why it took me so long to get started. Because let's be honest, if it was a matter of just starting, we would have already done it a long time ago, right?
Well, hello. I guess if you're seeing this video, I'm officially qualified to talk about the topic of the video because it means I finally published the video, which is a moment. But before we dive into this video fully, I want to say that, literally this moment before starting to film this, I was like, oh my God, I gotta find the right lighting. I gotta find the perfect video spot. And then I was like, you know what? I'm in the kitchen, there's a window. Like, yes, the lighting is not perfect, but oh well. We didn't want to go down the same rabbit hole that we went down a million times. So I literally just decided to start filming here in the kitchen. And secondly, I want to say that even though this video is about starting a YouTube channel, you should also keep on watching if there was something in your life that you feel like you've been wanting to do for ages and you still haven't done it, because the tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you, they really come from, embodied wisdom. They come from me actually, having gone through the whole process of starting my YouTube. So this is not anything like, oh, just start. As I said in the intro, if it was that simple, we already would have done it, right? So this is about YouTube and starting a YouTube channel if you've been wanting to do that for ages and you haven't yet. But this is also for you if there's just anything that you feel like you've been procrastinating for ages. So make sure you keep on watching, especially the first few tips. I think you're gonna blow your mind. Now, my intention for this video is to help you release all that self-judgment around the fact that you didn't start earlier and feeling like, you're a failure, you don't follow up on shit, basically dropping all the self-judgment that I know, if you're being honest with yourself, you are really judging yourself. And so I'm gonna help you drop that, and B, my intention is obviously to help you actually get started with your YouTube channel, finally. And now let's get into it. So my first tip for you is to release the story that starting today is so much harder than, having started in the past. I know literally so many people that are like, oh my God, I wish I started earlier. Like, it was so much easier to grow on YouTube back then, and now it's so hard. And like, as long as you're telling yourself that story, guess what? It's gonna be hard. So drop the story that it's harder now than it used to be. You only literally have the now, so you might as well use it. And from personal experience, I really can tell you, it is so much harder to continue to postpone something that you really desire to do than to actually do it. And as I said before, like, we really built a lot of self-judgment through this, at least most of us do. So it's still easier to start now, even though you may be telling yourself, there's my dog in the background, even though you may be telling yourself that it was easier back then. All you have is now, so make sure you're actually using it. And here's the mindset shift number 2 that I personally found was one of the most crucial ones for me, and I feel like not really anybody talks about it, so I'll listen closely. So for me, the top thing that I shifted in my mindset is that I decided to pursue this YouTube channel, as basically a means of my personal creative expression, rather than, an extension of my business, or feeling like, unless I do YouTube, nothing else is going to work out and I can't make money, or whatever thing it is, right? So for me, it really shifted the game to think about, what if I do this completely for myself? What if I make these videos for my own creative expression. And it really helped me to think more about, how I want to design these videos. How would they be something that I personally would want to watch? And also, how are they going to be fun for me to create versus how can I make them the most watchable, blah, 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 blah. And so using it as almost like a hobby. And I know a lot of people say like, oh, you have to take it serious because if you see it as a hobby, it's going to stay a hobby. I mean, personally, I disagree. And on my channel, you're going to find more videos on, I guess, unconventional business advice, because I have personally grown a very successful business in very unconventional ways, and it's been just fun and joyful. And yeah, I really shifted that thinking and applied that to YouTube as well, in the sense of, why wouldn't I just make that fun for me as well? And why wouldn't I just do it for me, trusting that it's going to resonate with people because I'm having fun and I'm not just like forcing myself to do it. And also, obviously, through this whole mindset shift, I actually got going versus constantly procrastinating it, because there's actually, in the past, I would have thought I had to do it in a certain way that I wasn't really excited about. So now it's like, well, I'm just doing this for myself. I'm just excited to be creating this. I'm just excited to edit these videos and make them something that I would personally want to watch. And so, yeah, my second tip, long story short, is to see your YouTube channel as a means for your personal creative expression, rather than like, this is the way I'm gonna be making money. I have to do it in this certain way for it to work, blah, 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 blah. Like, yes, it definitely helps to take your endeavors seriously, but also just have fucking fun. Do it for yourself. Okay, and here comes mindset shift number 3, which to me is honestly the most important one. And that is what we talked about in the intro. And I think I also spoke about it after. It doesn't fucking matter. Release the self-judgment around not having started earlier. We can waste so much time and energy that we could be spending making videos and getting started on judging ourselves secretly, subconsciously, judging ourselves that we haven't done it yet, that now it's too late, now it's harder, oh my god, where could I already be in my life if only I started earlier? Fuck that. Live in the now, be in the now. And what I also want you to, just shift your perspective around, or even play with, dance with, is the fact that you probably did some really fucking amazing things in the time where you didn't start your YouTube channel. Like, for me, honestly, once I realized this, I was mind blown, and it released so much for me. I really made a list of like, what are things that I have actually accomplished in my life, things that I've experienced in my life that I'm so proud of, that I'm so excited of, that I did in the time where I could have already done YouTube, you know what I mean? And literally, like, for me, I live in this fucking mansion in Mallorca right now, in Spain. I'm here with my dream car that literally was on every single vision board I've ever made, except for little moments when I was like, Christina, you gotta play smaller, you can't have that. But like, I have the house, I have the car, we are we're traveling constantly around the planet, and I have my little dog here, I am here with my boyfriend, the man of my dreams, and it's just like all of these things occurred while I was thinking, or a part of me was thinking, my god, I still haven't started YouTube. Where's the crazy dog? He loves just sitting on top of the pillows. Anyways, like, I really want you to realize that in this time that you should have already done YouTube, you actually did some really amazing things. And I know some of you may now feel like, oh, but I really didn't, like, there's nothing. Trust me, take a moment and open your heart and really feel into if there's really nothing, because I'm quite sure if you think about it, and if you let go a little bit of that perspective that you should have started earlier, and that maybe you tell yourself you never finish on anything, that used to be me. Once you release that story for even just a little moment, you will see that you've actually still done really, really, really cool things over this time, and that's gonna help you release the self-judgment, and you're gonna feel gratitude for the time that has already passed. And there's nothing that stops us more in life than self-judgment and shame. So release it. You're gonna feel just a lot more calm and excited to go. And here I am. So that shit actually really works. Trust me. And now, before we get into the 3 practical action steps that I took to finally start my YouTube channel, I just want to remind you to stay kind with yourself, because there is a good chance, let's be honest, that you're watching this video now and you're like, yes, I'm so excited, I'm finally gonna do it, let's fucking go, I'm done with my excuses, I am ready, and then you're not gonna do it, right? Like, let's be honest, we've been here before, we've done this before, but it's really important that you stay kind to yourself. It is okay. And I think honestly, like, society just has us constantly chasing goals, and like the common narrative is that unless you get shit done all the time, you're basically a shit human and you're a loser. And I couldn't disagree more. You know, in my opinion, most people in society are stressed as fuck and live very toxic lifestyles. And so I don't think this mentality of like, well, you should have done it yesterday and only then it's good enough is just bullshit and really not healthy. So be kind with yourself. It's okay if you are super excited today, right now, and then you don't end up doing it. Just always come back to loving yourself and releasing the past and just being present in the now, and then making the choice that you want to make in the now. And to offer you like some proof, I guess, of that working, I've grown my business, which, by the way, if you want to learn more and know more about my business and how I've grown it, make sure you write it in the comments so that I know, and I can make more YouTube videos around that. But yeah, like in my business, honestly, in the beginning of my business, I tried to do all the right things, and in a way, on paper, I did all of the right things and things were going all right. But when things truly took off is when I started to really just follow my intuition and build my business led by my intuition, led by my pleasure. So basically just doing what I felt like doing in the time being. And I never, really like, or in the beginning, I did chase goals. And what was I constantly doing? I was constantly like a chasing energy. Nothing was ever good enough. And the results weren't good enough either in that sense, because I was still struggling, because I was always coming from a stressed place and, from needy energy, because I felt like it had to work. Otherwise I wouldn't like myself, la-di-da-di-da. And so now when my business really skyrocketed, I just did things when I felt like it was the time. And sometimes, even though on a practical level we may think now is the time, it's just not the time. There's something inside of us that feels like it's not the time. And I just want you to know, like, life is always happening for you. Things are always adding up to your highest good. So you can trust that. And as I said before, the more we release that self-judgment over and over again if needed, the faster we'll actually grow. Because when we're not in that place, when we're in this calm energy, I think I'm just repeating myself, but it's good if you hear it twice, then we actually make shit happen. Then we feel excited to do things. And yeah, so make sure you really stay kind with yourself throughout this process, because that's actually what is going to help you do the damn thing that you want to do. Okay, so earlier my battery died. So much about being prepared. And I had to recharge the camera, and now I'm in bed with this beautiful boy, and I want to share the first action step with you to make sure I'm actually finishing this video, because we're still in that phase where I don't know if this is gonna go live, Anyways, the first step that I took to really support myself in starting my YouTube channel now is that I made it as easy as possible for me. I think this is a good mantra in general, to always think about what's the easiest way, always preaching that in my business as well. But what I realized is that me being a basically recovering perfectionist, I'm not going to put the video out there unless I'm already using the knowledge that I've acquired about YouTube over the years. Because again, because I've thought about starting so many times, I actually have a good chunk of knowledge about YouTube, and I knew I was never going to upload something that I feel like is not going to do well because it's done in a stupid way, right? So what I did is that I created basically a script for my first video, which is this video, to make sure that I'm reminding people to give the video a thumbs up, which is haha fucking genius, because it's a script. Is what I invite you to do right now. If you're enjoying this video so far, give this video a thumbs up. And then another thing that I did to make it as simple as possible for me to start my channel and to start filming is that I installed an app called TubeBuddy. You probably have heard about it before if you're like me and you were planning to start your YouTube channel 10 million times. So I installed TubeBuddy, and I basically put in a few video ideas that I had that I was thinking to really make, to basically test whether people were actually searching for that topic or not. Because yes, I'm all for doing things that are fun and doing things for your creative expression, but also personally, I do have that element of wanting people to find my videos and wanting more people to find my videos. So it really helped me to basically get behind this all working out by looking at TubeBuddy to see, you know, if people were actually interested in those topics. And by the way, little business nugget, this is literally what I teach and preach to my clients all the time. We create our reality through our thoughts, right? And so you have to be able to get behind whatever you are thinking about though. So you can't just think, I want to be a millionaire, and then you're going to be a millionaire, right? Like you have to somehow energetically be able to get behind becoming a millionaire. Otherwise it's not going to work. So it's the same with like a YouTube video. If you wanted to get a lot of views, you got to get behind that video getting a lot of views. Now this is very meta, but I'm going to trust that you understand what I'm talking about. And for me, it really helped me to start easy by checking if there was an email. Now I'm distracted. But it really helped me to check if the videos that I had in mind were actually standing a chance to do good, so I could get behind this working out. And you know, from here, let's see how this video performs over time.
And then another thing that I did to make it as easy as possible for me to start is that I wrote down these ideas that I had and I did check them on TubeBuddy. But then also I basically let them go and I didn't obsess over each topic. And I literally went on a walk the other day and all of a sudden I was like, this is going to be the first video. And yeah, that was pretty fucking easy. And also I'm just discovering a new hack that I can also share with you. I literally am using my laptop to give myself a good light. It's basically functioning like a fucking ring light. And it's just my laptop. Easy, simple, we like it, and fits the topic quite perfectly, doesn't it?
Okay, so I'm about to make our dinner, but I really want to share action step number 2 with you. And that is to not set unrealistic goals that are just going to add pressure again. Now, in general, I'm a big fucking fan of setting unrealistic goals. I think they can be very inspiring. But in this case, what really helped me is to basically make the goal to make one video. I think if I would have already decided like I'm going to upload every single week, it would have added too much pressure for me. And I would have lost that sense of joy, that sense of fun for making videos, and it would have instead felt like I have to make videos every single week. So in that case, in general, set unrealistic goals and have fucking fun and let them inspire you. But in this case, what really helped me is to actually start very low key, make the goal one video, and from there make another one and make another one and make another one. And it doesn't matter if you are super consistent or not in the beginning. The goal is to get started, right? And from that first video, get to a second one, from the second one, get to the third one, and so on. And with that, remember, you're doing this for your own joy. You're not doing this to get somewhere. Like, yes, in a way you are, but remember, we're doing this for our own creative expression. So have fun and enjoy the fucking journey.
Okay, now it's actually the next morning because it just got too dark yesterday and I was like, let's spice things up. Let's film another sequence tomorrow. So here we are. And the third action step that I have for you is, I guess, the most basic one and yet a very important one, and it is to start creating. Write that script if you think that's going to help you, or do some research on your first topic, or do what I did, and just go out there, take your camera and record some B-roll just to get yourself going. Whatever you feel like is the first step, do that. What I also, by the way, did that, you know, felt like it was just getting me in the groove was creating a channel banner. But also I want to remind you, I did create a channel banner before and it didn't get me to start YouTube. So what you want to avoid, obviously, is what you may have done before. I definitely had done before, which is to then go into the YouTube study hole, which is just another form of procrastination. And you're just like, oh, but now really, I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. And then you buy a new camera, you research all the perfect titles, and then you just basically continue doing what you, as I said, may have done before. I certainly have. So it's really important to just start creating, pick something that's easy, and most of all, pick something that is fun, because as we talked about before, fun is going to keep you going. And if you want, if you feel like that's going to help you hold yourself accountable, you can write in the comments, I'm starting today and I'm going to celebrate you and I'm going to hold you accountable. Okay, this wasn't planned, but I actually have to add another action step. So one other thing that I did that made it a lot easier for me to start is that instead of making like a typical introduction video telling you all about my intentions for this channel and who I am, I decided to just start making a video
that is full of value. It really helped me to just think about what I really want this channel to be. And I created this channel to basically share my life wisdom, things that helped me change my life, things that helped me turn my dreams into reality, things that helped me grow my business. So I was like, I just want to talk about that. I just want to talk about things that excite me rather than spending all this time introducing myself, which is not the intention of the channel. This, by the way, also really helped me release this idea that I really immediately had to know what I want people to know me for, what exactly I'm gonna do here, blah, 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 blah. Now, my take on niching is that you are your own niche. Like, yes, if you have a product-based business, it's a bit of a different thing, but as personal brands, which most YouTubers are, it's really like you are your own niche. And you know, if I think about me a few years back, watching a lot of YouTube, trying 10 million times to become a YouTuber and then not doing it, I'm like, would I have watched that blonde girl with long, beautiful hair, living in Spain, traveling around the world, having a cute puppy, having a hot boyfriend, having a beautiful car, running her own business? Oh, hell yeah, I would have. So why wouldn't I just start, you know, putting me, being that person, putting her online, and, you know, letting those people, me in the past or whoever feels, you know, like they resonate with this, let them come to me. And you know, with this whole thing of you being your niche, also understand you're not going to be for everyone. You can release that fear that people are going to hate you online. Like, they might, but they're just not your people. And as always, what Susie says of Sally says more Susie than of Sally. So you can just screw the fact that there might be people who are not going to resonate. You're making these videos to help the people that do resonate with you, right? Okay, so now I really gotta hop on a client call, but we did it. I cannot believe we did it. This is it. I hope that these tips were wildly helpful for you. My job from here is to keep going, and it would help me a lot if you give a thumbs up, leave a little comment, show some encouragement, share what you took from this video, and this is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.